of members of parliament by government.
We the MPs, we've not been paid yet. Today is the 1st of March. We have not been paid yet. Most Ghanaian workers are calling us saying that they have not been paid.
Also coming up, food shortage hits residents of Wenchiki in the northeast region following last week's conflict that led to the burning of food stock.
Some of the shops that they used to store some of the foodstuffs were completely burnt to ashes. An entire community was completely burnt to ashes. So yes, food has become a problem.
Still ahead, Citi FM, Citi TV officially kickstarts its Heritage Month today.
So Heritage Caravan, again, part of the whole tourism wing of celebrating the Heritage Month, is trying to get Ghanaians to trigger this new way of life where Ghanaians will start paying money to see other parts of Ghana.
We'll bring you a report on what to expect throughout the month of March. And later, 70-year-old former governor of Lagos State, Bola Tinubu, wins Nigerians' presidential elections. Stay tuned as we bring you details of all that and more on the Citi Prime News, which is live on all our partner stations across the country. In the Upper West region, you are listening to us on Tupani Radio 88.5 in Nadoli and Chirapa 96.1 FM. In the Upper East, you are listening to us on Rekas 92.1 FM in Bongo Namu. In the Northern region, this is North Star Radio 92.1 in Tamale. Northeast region, we are on Nobia FM 98.1 in Nalerigu. In the Western region, we're on Beach 105.5 FM in Takrady. In the Ashanti region, we're on Focus 94.3 FM and Orange 107.9 FM, all in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we're on Sela Radio 97.1 FM in Dabala and Holy FM 98.5 in Aplao. And in the Savannah region, we're on Kasha 99.5 FM in Damongo.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Many thanks for sticking and staying with us. We'll settle for the details of our stories now. The minority in Parliament is complaining about the delay in the payment of salaries of members of Parliament by the government. Appearing before Parliament on Tuesday, the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta denied claims of government struggling to pay salaries of civil servants. But addressing the media on the proposed CI by the Electoral Commission, the minority leader Dr. Keisolato Forson insisted that the government is unable to honor its financial obligations, hence the mistrust in the finance minister to clear outstanding debts of the National Identification Authority.
So, Speaker, as we speak today, government is unable to pay for salaries. In fact, if you check Bank of Ghana Commercial Bank Twitter page today, now, you can check now. They said they are unable to pay salaries. So if you are unable to pay salaries, how can we take assurances that you are ready to pay $170 million? So, Speaker, I can read it. I'll be here. So what is the basis? You can't pay salaries. And if you can't pay salaries, how can we take that assurances as basis for you to make a law? Go and pay first. Let's make sure that the ordinary Ghanaian, at the minimum, can get access to the Ghana card. So, Speaker, another important point. So, Speaker.
The minority also says the current economic crisis would not enable their constituents' trip to the district offices of the Electoral Commission to undertake the voter registration exercise for the upcoming polls as proposed by the EC in its new constitutional instruments. The minority leader, Dr. Keisolato Forson, says this will disenfranchise many Ghanaians.
My constituency, for instance, as a member of parliament for Ejumako and Yanisiam, the district capital is in Ejumako. There are people that have to travel 30 kilometers or so to the district capital to register. So if you are to make the district capital the only place for registration, you are making it not possible for people that doesn't have money to travel to the district capital to register. And we all know the economic condition. So it will serve as a disincentive for young people that have reached voting age to come to the district centers to register. And that alone, we can't accept that. And most importantly, we all know the economic condition. So they are transferring their burden to politicians and others to carry these people to the registration center and to get them registered. Can we have the resources to do that? No, we can't have the resources to get that.
That was Minority Leader Dr. Kaisel Atoforsen.
Now, President Akufo-Addo says over 600 Ghanaians have been rescued and repatriated home from Dubai and Libya. And Akufo-Addo says the over 600 people were rescued from a syndicate that exploited illegal migrants. Speaking at a meeting with members of the diplomatic corps at Pediase, and Akufo-Addo says more Ghanaians will be brought back home.
I cannot end today without expressing the solidarity of the Ghanaian people with the brotherly people of our great neighbor, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as they encounter significant challenges in the ongoing national elections for new national leadership, and hope that these challenges will be resolved peacefully in accordance with due process, and that the will of the Nigerian people will be duly manifested. The impact on the cause of democracy in West Africa, and indeed in the entire continent of Africa, by the events in Nigeria, cannot be overemphasized. We wish them the best of luck and God's blessings.
You heard President Akufo-Addo.
Now, management of the Tamale Teaching Hospital says it has restocked enough medical oxygen at the facility. This comes after its suppliers had some technical challenges which halted production. The management, in a statement issued last week, confirmed the challenges and assured clients it was working to resolve the issue. In a Citi News interview, the public relations officer for the hospital, Zubairu Aliyu, noted that the challenges has now been fixed.
We give Tuesday in our release that by Tuesday, close work by Tuesday, we would have solved this particular issue. And then we are very happy to inform the public again that we really stood by our word. We got enough consignment from Kumasi and also from our various hospitals around. And then the good thing is that our supplier is able to restore the power challenges, and so everything is normal now.
He, however, disputed reports that deaths that occurred during the period were oxygen-related.
What happens in the world is that it is difficult for somebody to just say that this person died because there wasn't oxygen. In the first place, we are saying that we didn't run out of oxygen. So if we talk about deaths, we cannot verify that. In any case, management heard some of the reports, and work is ongoing to actually verify what led to death. We know as a teaching hospital, we definitely will have some deaths, maybe in some whatever situation. Yes, so it is not true that even if we had registered some deaths on that particular day, we cannot wholly blame it on the challenge we have with oxygen supply.
Zubairu Aliyu is the public relations officer of Tamale Teaching Hospital, speaking on the restocking of medical oxygen at the facility.
A political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, Dr. Jalilu Atiku, says it will be extremely difficult for a third political force to emerge outside of the duopoly of NPP and NDC in Ghana. According to him, although the conditions necessary for a third force are rife in the country, the NPP and NDC are firmly rooted with a support structure that will be tough for any outlier to break through. Dr. Atiku was speaking to Citi News in response to a possible emergence of a third political preference, as has been demonstrated by the Labour Party's Peter Obi in Nigeria. Peter Obi placed third in the recent Nigerian presidential elections, making significant inroads. But Dr. Atiku says a similar emergence in Ghana is highly unlikely.
Look at the NDC and NPP. They are core voters. Like they all have about 40% core voters. right? So that's why people have said that if within the NDC, in some particular cases, once the NDC kind of people are going to vote for it, okay, in the same way you have MPP and people will be voting for the MPP because of the same reason. Okay, so in our case, it has become somehow very difficult to bank our hopes on that, because we have seen people who emerge and then who could have also garnered the same support or galvanized the same support that are being given to other people in Nigeria. But if you look at it, the duopoly has established for a very long time. And there is this called Kachima. He said that when you have a political duopoly being established, when it is established, it becomes very difficult. And one of the features is that when duopoly is established, it leads to disintegration of the smaller parties. And that's exactly what is happening in Ghana. And I do not see a third force emerging unless there is a crisis within any of these two parties, such that it may bring some division, either in the MPP or in the NDC, that they are not able to resolve. But so long as they remain united, it will be very difficult for a third party to make any significant errors.
You heard Dr. Jalilu Atiku. He's a political science lecturer at the University of Ghana.
We will now go over the phone lines to speak to a Nigerian journalist, Ibrahim Mansour, to hear what he has been saying after the elections. Good afternoon, sir. Finally, the results are out. What is the mood in the country after the declaration?
Yeah, good afternoon to Ghanaians and to your listeners. The condition right now, the mood right now is the party that was victorious. They are celebrating, they are jubilating, and the leaders, the party that didn't win, are currently, saying, they're going to contest the results and all that. But generally, everywhere is peaceful. People are going about their normal businesses and all that. So, but the celebration is not that big. It's not that big yet, but the party is obviously celebrating in their own way. Hello?
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay, yes. So that's it for now. That's the current situation right here in Nigeria. And I'm currently in Lagos, and the mood here is just subtle. The celebration is not that big. So we are hoping that the president-elect, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will return back to Lagos, which is his home state, and we'll see if the celebration will be bigger than what we've seen early this morning.
Right. Now, the opposition who are disputing the results, what have they been saying?
For now, none of them has come out to release any statement, except the press briefing they gave yesterday that they're not going to accept the results and a new election should be conducted. So we're still monitoring the situation. None of them has come out to congratulate the president-elect. We're hoping they will do that based on the peace accord that was signed some days before the election, that whatever the outcome of the results should be accepted by all parties. And if you have any problem with the results, you should go through the right channel, which is going to the tribunal, and make your own case.
Now, finally, before we let you go, what is the message of the president-elect Bola Tinubu to the people?
Yeah, he has reached out to everyone in his acceptance speech. He said he thanked Nigerians for electing him and for believing in him, that he will not fail Nigerians, that he's going to be a servant and not a leader. And he reached out to the opposition candidates and told them that he will be willing to work with them if they reach out to him, that he does not hold any grudges with anyone. Election, there will always be a winner and there will be a loser. But the most important thing for him is to be a servant to Nigerians and to serve Nigerians.
Thank you very much for that update. That was the Nigerian journalist Ibrahim Mansour. We'll go ahead with the bulletin. And the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council is courting the support of all assembly members in the region ahead of the planned Operation Clean Your Frontage initiative in the Tema metropolis. The council says the initiative, which is in preparation towards the 6th March celebration, will begin from tomorrow, the 2nd to 4th of March 2023. The exercise, according to officials, will facilitate cleanliness across the metropolis. Speaking during an engagement with all assembly members in the region, the regional minister, Henry Quartey, asked for their assistance.
The Operation Clean Your Frontage bylaws, we are not supposed to come to Tema and clean the environment for them. No, the bylaw says clear that you are supposed to clean your inner perimeter, immediate environment, your frontage to the middle of the streets. So the banks are going around to announce, and every household, every business, every landlord is expected to comply with the Operation Clean Your Frontage bylaw by coming out of their businesses or business places, their offices, homes and shops to clean their immediate environment and frontage. So, now, so what we are saying is that, for instance, Temaman here, the entire assembly members of Kuro and Ablikman North will assist your Temaman here assembly member by supervising the cleaning up of that area.
He further announced the deployment of over 600 personnel from the security agencies and some personnel from the city response team to help and supervise the exercise.
Aside that, there are over 600 men and women will be drawn from the security and intelligence agencies to join you, namely Ghana Police, Ghana Prisons, Immigration, Fire Service. They'll come with their fire tenders and all. Then the city response team, about 600 of them will also join. So all these ones will be deployed. The motorway is of a major concern to all of us. That's the entry point to Tema.
That was the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Henry Quartey.
Now, the Member of Parliament for Obuobisa South, Samuel Atachia, has called for the amendment of Article 82 of the 1992 Constitution. The provision details how a vote of censure motion against a Minister of State should be dealt with. The former Works and Housing Minister argues that some provisions in the 1992 Constitution grant the President too much power, which renders Parliament inefficient in taking some critical decisions. Speaking at the second seminar organized by the Institute of Economic Affairs, IEA, under the theme, Reviewing Ghana's 1992 Constitution, Viewpoint from Parliament, Honorable Atachia objected to the aspects of the Constitution which suggest the President may keep a minister at post even after Parliament passes a vote of censure against him.
I cannot see one member of Parliament who is a minister and is strong enough to defy the President. I'm going to vote against the budget of your appointor. So I believe humbly that that amendment is very beneficial to good governance. So people would do proper legislation and will not fear the modern pharaohs, you know. When you feel it, then it's like you are tied to the dictates of big men. I don't mean any other particular one, but whoever is elected. This may be found on Article 82.5. If you read it carefully, it's like the Parliament can have the minister censured, but the President might still keep him. An outrageous proposition. The President will keep a minister that Parliament hates. And how can you do serious business with this kind of obtuse arrangement?
That was MP for Obuobisa South, Samuel Atachia. For his part, the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joseph Owusu, said despite the defects of the current constitution, an amendment may not necessarily lead to the expected leadership and development that the citizens desire.
How many people, Ghanaians, know and can recite even the directive principles of state policy. This constitution is 30 years old. But even for the adults here, I'm sure many of us, unless you are litigating or you are invited to make a speech, you may not remember the details of that. So, if it is important to us, how come we have not disseminated it so far? I think that it's not sufficient to put words in the Constitution. What we want to achieve, we should make everyone, every Ghanaian understand his or her role. So I suggest that we should adopt the National Orientation Program and propagate it with religious zeal.
That was the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joseph Owusu.
You're still listening to the Citi Prime News, coming to you live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. Still ahead in the bulletin, food shortage hits residents of Wenchiki in the northeast region following last week's conflict that led to the burning of food stock. We'll bring you details of all that and more shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Ajwapa, what's all this condom business? Oh, I've told her over and over again that she won't get pregnant, and she's still insisting. Oh, isn't she the same person who said we would not have sex till we go out for at least 2 years? For all this time? Oh, and she still can't trust me enough? Ama, when I try to do something small, no, condom this, condom that. So handsome man like me, she probably thinks I have HIV.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner. Condoms are effective for protection against a wide spectrum of STIs and HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission.
Keys. What could be simpler than a key? Who doesn't have a key? A car key, an office key, a drawer key. But there's one key that rules them all. The house key. The key to a place we call home. The key to the home where everything comes together. The key to a home that is our own. A home where we make life happen with our families and loved ones. Adoha has been working hard for over 30 years to make home ownership within reach for many. Say yes to property with Adoha. Your dream home is one call away. Your dream home is a few clicks away. Visit our Accra project, The Place, by calling 03027897757. Keys. What could be simpler than a key? Who doesn't have a key? A car key, an office key, a drawer key. But there's one key that rules them all. The house key. The key to a place we call home. The key to the home where everything comes together. The key to a home that is our own. A home where we make life happen with our families and loved ones. Adoha has been working hard for over 30 years to make home ownership within reach for many. Say yes to property with Adoha. Your dream home is one call away. Your dream home is a few clicks away. Visit our Accra project, The Place, by calling 03027897757.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Yeah, welcome back. Now, residents of Wenchiki in the Tripoli district of the northeast region are currently faced with starvation after their food stock was burnt in last week's clashes. Gunshots were fired during the enscarement of a sub-chief of the people of Nyangbande at the Wenchiki Palace last week. The incident left 3 persons, including a military officer, with injuries. Farms and warehouses were reportedly burnt down during the ensuing disagreement. The district chief executive for Tripoli, Hajia Zuwairatu Nashiru, said although NADMO has provided some items to affected residents, more support is needed.
There was a clash and their food storage houses were burnt. Some houses actually didn't come in to meet anything in their home. And some of the shops that they used to also store some of the foodstuffs were completely burnt to ashes. An entire community called Sako was completely burnt to ashes. So yes, food has become a problem because if your storeroom is completely burnt, you can imagine. So the regional minister was here on Monday. We did a thorough tour of the communities that got affected. And then NADMO was also with the team. So they also did their thorough searches and took the details that they needed to put together so that we get to know the exact households and the losses that we have encountered. So we'll see what we can do. But immediately what we did was to provide them with water and some few items. And I would also continue to make that appeal to benevolent societies in Ghana and everywhere in the world that if they can support the people who food items have been burnt and so that at least they can get something to survive on.
Hajia Zuwera Nashiru is District Chief Executive for Tripoli in the Northeast region.
With about 5 more days left to mark Ghana's 66th independence anniversary, the Volta region is getting ready to host the rest of Ghana for the celebrations. Repair works on town roads and the quick completion of the Volta Regional Youth Resource Center are but a few of activities taking place in the region in preparation towards the celebration. Our Volta Regional correspondent Benjamin Aklama has more in this report.
So the Volta region is getting ready to host the rest of Ghana to celebrate the 66th Independence Day celebration of Ghana. The event will be held at Adaklu, Chiepe, which is where the Volta Regional Youth Resource Center is situated. The Youth Resource Center is now said to be about 94% complete. Our understanding is that by Monday, which is the 6th of March, the facility will be 100% ready, at least the second phase of it, to host the celebration. Beyond it, roads are being patched, street lights are being fixed, and flags are being hoisted, getting the momentum aroused in readiness for the celebration. The Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Yaolacha, says that all is set for the celebration.
We are still working very hard, putting 1 or 2 things together. The committees are working, the grounds committee, events committee, security committee, protocol committee, finance committee. All of them are working, health committee, and so on and so forth, entertainment and cultural committee. So we are in contact with Accra, the National Planning Committee. I can say with confidence that we are almost there.
Okay, so regarding our facility where we are hosting the celebrations, we understood by the last check it was about 90% complete. What's the state now?
I was there yesterday, and I think we should be 94, 95%. There's still some work to be done, but the main grounds for the parade is ready. The washrooms are all set, and people will be coming from Accra. The state protocol will be coming to help us set up the place finally. We're going to raise some canopies also to allow more people to sit and more people to stand. So we are also working on the invitations. We want all the chiefs in the Volta region to be present, all the paramount chiefs, all the members of the House of Chiefs, and some other chiefs who are not necessarily members of the House. We're inviting all of them to come. All the political parties are involved in our organization. The flag hoisting that we started today instead of tomorrow has used from NDC and MPP together hoisting flags. So this is a national celebration, and all the people of Volta region are excited.
So beyond the regular parade that we see at such events, there is going to be tourism tours, biking, hiking, and a lot of several other activities here in the Volta region just to enrich the celebration. Some celebrities or media personalities from the Volta region were in the region and toured several of these tourist attractions in order to bring awareness to such facilities and build a momentum towards the celebration. So one of such tourist centers which is getting ready to host several participants of this year's Independence Day celebration is the Amejope Canopy Walks. The DC for the area, the Honorable Victor Ernest Apau, says the community is ready for tourists.
Let me start with tourism because we're talking about Visit Volta, Experience Ghana. Now Visit Whole West, Experience Africa. Visit Whole West, Experience Africa, even beyond Ghana. Now, the interesting opportunities for investment that we can see in Whole West is the key one now is the tourism potentials that we have. The sectors within the tourism value chain that you can invest in, we're talking about, apart from the rest stops and others, we have potential for organic foods. And the organic foods, you can see our land is less depleted compared to many other parts of this country. So we have taken strategic position, local policies, bylaws, and at the assembly level to protect some of the areas. Now we are working on 5 organic communities in Whole West, where the people will not use these poly bags and others, where chemical fertilizers and others will not be used. So 2 communities, Honuta and Puerta, have subscribed now. So we are working to make sure that by the end of this year, we would have launched the full bylaw. The locals will begin to get benefits.
The Honorable Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Yao-Lecha, says that he's expectant that the entire community here in the Volta region will cash in on the celebrations, and also hopes that there will be a launch of the Volta Fair 2023 right after the Independence Day celebration.
We also think that businesses in town are getting ready because we're talking also about local economic development. We want the businesses also to make cash as people come. But they'll leave some money behind, and that's good. But that should not be the end of it. We also want to market our potentials in agribusiness, in tourism, ICT, so that people who have fond memories of the Volta region when they come. And at the end of the day, we want more investments. We want to open up the region more for people to come and add to the economy of our region, and for that matter, our country. We want jobs created, wealth to be created. So that is the essence of the whole thing. We want to leverage on hosting of this anniversary to also, after that, we're going to launch the Volta Fair 2023. And we are also on our campaign with our brand ambassador. So it's actually Volta to the world, Volta to the world, Volta to the world. And we can't thank the president enough for this honor and privilege that he has bestowed on us. And we are hoping that the Almighty God will help us, will keep us healthy and strong, so that come Monday, we'll put up a great show to the admiration of Ghanaians and the global community.
So all is almost set for the celebration of the 66th Independence Day of Ghana, and is to be held here in the Volta region, specifically at the Volta Regional Youth Resource Center at Adaklu, Chiriepe. Momentums are high, and we are looking forward to a great celebration. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Benjamin Aklama from WHO.
Now, consumers of petroleum products can heave a sigh of relief as they visit various fuel stations following a downward adjustment of price of products. The changes were effected for the first pricing window of March. A litre of petrol which sold at 14 cedis 50 pesos at some fuel stations will now sell at 13 cedis 80 pesos, while diesel which sold at 14 cedis 90 pesos will now sell at 13 cedis 80 pesos. Meanwhile, some drivers who have been speaking to Citi News are calling for further reduction in fuel prices.
It's been good, but I think more can be done, especially as we all can see that fuel prices from the world market is going down. I think the government can do more. Where I think we have a problem is also the OMCs, that's the fuel station owners. For me, I think they are also not helping so much. So if they can also be considerate a bit, yeah, we can all benefit from this reduction. And I wish it's sustained or even down more.
We need the fuel to come down. I said the way is it first. If you go up so far, not be so, because 1 gallon first is a 14 cedi. Now 1 gallon is almost 80 something Ghana cedi or 70. Now it comes down, it could be 60 something. Are you getting me? If you want to make the gallon to be full, 1 gallon will be full. It's 80 Ghana cedi. Now when they drop it down like this, it's going to be a 70 or 60 if you want it to full. So we will buy the petrol unit so far.
We've been always looking on the board for, where fuel is cheaper and hopefully buy. So it's kind of a welcoming news to see that reduction in fuel, but we still feel that there's a lot more that should be done to make us all comfortable. We all know the current economic situation, so any reduction is acceptable and appreciable and appreciated. But if we can get a bit more, we really appreciate it better. So we're calling on the government to see how they can do a lot more for us to get the fuel prices coming down. Because, all of us are now looking on the boards for where fuel is cheaper, and we don't think it's healthy for us.
You heard some drivers calling for a further reduction in fuel prices.
Now, the price of liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, at some pumps has been increased by at least 5% in the first pricing window of March. The product, which was selling at 15 Ghana cedis per kilo, will from today sell at 16 cedis per kilo. According to stakeholders, the rise in LPG price follows the increase in the cost of products to oil marketing companies by 10%. Despite an increase in price of petrol, a decrease in price of petrol and diesel, consumers of LPG will have to pay more for the same product. Speaking to Citi News, the Vice President for the LPG Marketers Association, Kumi, says the continuous price hikes is not good for the business market.
Initial indications we are picking from the BDCs shows that the cost price, that is the cost to the oil marketing companies, has gone up by about 10% per kilo. If we are lucky, competition will bring that one down to about 6-7%. But certainly LPG price will go up by not less than 5% beginning today. And that will push the pump price to close to about 16 Ghana cedis per kilo from the 15 Ghana cedis we were selling the previous window. Already last year, 2022, LPG consumption went down by over 12%. That's against 2021. And that should be a very big worry to every single Ghanaian and to government.
Gabriel Kumi further urged government to consider including LPG in the gold for oil deal to mitigate the price increases on consumers.
That is why, diesel price is going down, petrol price is going down, but unfortunately LPG price keeps escalating. And that is why our association have called on government to immediately look at including LPG in the gold for oil deal so that it can also help bring the price of LPG down. We believe LPG is a product government must target in this deal. Effort should be made to ensure that this gold for oil or oil for gold deal, LPG is included immediately. Otherwise, because the experts are telling us that LPG price on the international market will keep escalating, even though diesel and petrol prices are coming down.
Gabriel Kumi is the Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association.
Now to some health news. The Ghana Health Service has confirmed 12 new cases of Lassa fever after further tests were conducted by the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. The latest cases were recorded after the contact tracing of 56 persons who were connected to the initial 2 cases confirmed on Sunday, February 26. Active cases of Lassa fever now stand at 13 according to the Ghana Health Service, with one person has so far died from the disease. On Sunday, the Ghana Health Service disclosed that the first case was a 40-year-old trader who was unwell for a period of about 2 weeks after dying at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Before dying at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Director of Public Health at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Franklin Esiedu-Bequin, spoke to Citi News.
Yeah, so I think that we will be getting more contacts. You see, the best way of managing these kind of infections is be able to identify all contacts and kind of contain them so that they are now in control over the period of the maximum incubation period. So what you are doing is that you are trying to find all persons that have been exposed, and they're going to follow them to the 21 days. So let's say if we realize that you are exposed, you become contact. We need to follow you. Then you tell us that, oh, this person too lives with you. So it becomes your so we try to make sure that we identify more contacts. So the contacts will get more and more bigger. Now that we are getting new cases, these cases also have contacts. So we'll be getting more contacts. But let me say that for us, getting more contacts is good for us. It tells us that we are trying to ascertain the extent of the infection. It becomes worrisome when you get a new case who is not seen to be a contact. In that case, it's like the infection is somewhere else. And that's why it becomes worrisome. But for now, if you are within our bracket, the idea is that you need to be able to detect when you become a case early and we isolate you so you don't infect others.
That was the Director of Public Health at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Franklin Asiedu-Bekwin.
Now, the leadership of the Private Health Facilities Association says it has put on hold the planned decision to picket at the premises of the National Health Insurance Authority, NHIA, tomorrow. This follows the part payment of the 8 months insurance claims arrears, which had resulted in the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, imposing penalties on the operations of the facilities. The General Secretary of the Private Health Facilities Association, Frank Toblu Richard, has been explaining to Citi News the move.
Some memorandum of understanding on the table for consideration. Now, they have agreed to clear the amount involved, our arrangement with them. So we are observing. As at Friday, they have made some payments, and we are expecting that they will leave by the tenets of the arrangements we've had with them. So we want to see how it goes. Nonetheless, we just released a press statement.
Mr. Toblu also explained the background to their current challenge.
Come to think of it, SNIT, which has been the major problem to us. As I speak to you, SNIT is indebted to NHIA with respect to 2.5% collection from the workers' revenue or funds they are paid to the SNIT. Now, this issue has escalated to the extent that we have to appeal to Parliamentary Select Committee on Health to intervene. And SNIT was invited, GRA was invited, Controller and Accountant General was invited, Ministry of Finance was invited, so that SNIT can stop prosecuting our members at the various courts in the country. They stopped somewhere along the line. Interesting to note, they have not stopped accumulating interest or penalty on the outstanding liabilities with regards to our members.
That was the General Secretary of the Private Health Facilities Association, Frank Toblu Richard. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News, which is broadcasting live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. I'm Wilma Obuobisa Coleman, and I'm here with Charles Owusu Kumi. Still ahead in the bulletin, Citi FM and Citi TV officially kickstarts its Heritage Month today. We'll bring you a report on what to expect throughout the month of March. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Charlie, whatever you do with your data, do it twice because Vodafone is giving you double data in the Vodafone Too Much Family Package with a top-up of only 120 Ghana cedis in addition to your monthly Vodafone fixed broadband subscription. You will get twice the data for twice the fun.
Yeah, welcome back. We appreciate you staying with us. We'll continue with the bulletin. And the Ghana Meteorological Agency, GMA, says it will embark on an awareness crusade throughout the month of March to educate the public on the importance of meteorology to national development and also collaborate with stakeholders both locally and internationally. The agency made this known at the launch of the Meteorological Awareness Month, which is under the theme, The Future of Weather, Climate and Water Across Generations. Speaking to the media, the board chairman of the agency, George Amu, says the agency plays a critical role in various sectors of the economy to improve on productivity.
Following numerous attendances at workshops, both local and international, there is the recognition that we will have no choice than to make full use of meteorological information to minimize the adverse effects of weather and climate, and to make use of the information as a resource for planning well into the future to protect the property and livelihoods of Ghanaians. The needs of the nation at the local, district, regional, and national levels are either evolving or changing, and therefore the input of the Ghana Meteorological Agency in developmental efforts cannot be downplayed. The role of the agency as weather and climate information providers and regulators will help users, including policymakers, acquire quality information to make decisions.
George Amu is the board chairman of the Ghana Meteorological Agency.
Now, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, says it is still monitoring the quality of air despite rainfalls in some parts of the country last week, which appeared to have cleared the dusty weather conditions. Earlier, the agency indicated that the pollutant levels had exceeded the National and World Health Organization target values, which require the need for the use of pollution masks when stepping out. Speaking on the sidelines of the launch of the Climate Change and Green Economy Week in Accra, the Chief Executive Officer of the Environmental Protection Agency, Dr. Henry Kokofu, indicated it will follow through to monitor the weather and notify the public on any action.
We also did say that Ghana was smarting out from the Harmattan season and then transiting into the rainy season. And lo and behold, over the weekend, we experienced a heavy downpour across the nation. And that was God sent. That was an original way of cleaning up the atmosphere. So you can see with simple observations that we are having quite a better weather conditions. However, our monitors are also in place and continuously we're doing the air quality monitoring systems.
Dr. Henry Kokofu is Chief Executive Officer of the Environmental Protection Agency.
We'll take you to the Western North region, where a fire outbreak at the Sefi Janase market in the region has destroyed about 8 shops and a 2-bedroom house. The incident occurred last night. The cause of the fire is unknown. The affected owners are appealing to authorities to support them rebuild their businesses. Meanwhile, the NADMO director for the Sefi Municipal Assembly, Ajiman Bediakon, has been speaking to Citi News on measures to be put in place to forestall another occurrence.
Because of stealing and other things, many of the containers are not having ventilation outlets, and that also contributes to fire outbreaks. So you plead with those who have the containers and other things that they should create an avenue for ventilation so that when there's so much heat, the heat can then take out through that ventilation. That my officers are on the ground, they will do a critical assessment of the things that are lost. You forward to the municipal chief executives and the disaster committee for consideration and see what we can do.
Ajiman Bediako is the NADMO director for the Sefi municipality in the Western North region.
Now, the Heritage Month on Citi TV and Citi FM has officially begun today with an on-air series which seeks to give a revealing insight into Ghanaian culture. The Heritage Month is an educative, entertaining, and fun-filled month-long celebration which seeks to offer Ghanaians several reasons to be proud of their culture in diverse ways. This year's Heritage Month is dubbed Make It Ghana. The following report has more.
The month of March has been dedicated to celebrating Ghana and her unique culture and history here at Citi FM and Citi TV. Time will be spent both on air and outdoor events to push everything Ghana. The theme for this year's Heritage Month is dubbed Make It Ghana, a deliberate attempt at making Ghana the desired destination through film, tourism and investment. Some activities lined up for the month began with an on-air series educating Ghanaians on the people and stories of Akwemu with seasoned historian Kweku Ankara.
All of that, let's talk about that.
Well, it's just celebrating Ghana in more ways than one. Mm-hmm. It's what we have done is to be able to craft all our cultural assets as a country, both tangible and intangible assets, and to be able to recognize and celebrate them. So this is the Heritage Month, telling our stories, revisiting our past successes as a nation, also trying to educate people on some of the institutions and organizations that's contributed to our being a nation. And so there's a series on the history of the Ghana Armed Forces, for instance. We are also talking about people and places, which you have also dealt with Ankara. So this is generally the on-air series will be zeroing in on the cultural assets. So we are starting the on-air series this week, and it's going through the whole month of March.
From the 4th to the 11th of March, patrons will travel through 14 regions of the country, visiting tourist sites, interacting with indigents, enjoying their food, and experiencing their diverse culture.
Okay, so Heritage Caravan, again, part of the whole tourism wing of celebrating the Heritage Month, is trying to get Ghanaians to trigger this new way of life, where Ghanaians will start paying money to see other parts of Ghana, because there's a sickness of the middle class that the moment they use the word holidays, the next thing is travel abroad. If I am on leave and I have to go on holidays, then for a middle class, for me to get my validation as a middle class person, I have to travel to where are some of the places they go, to New York, to London, to wherever, you know. And at times it is draining if you know how international travel is, you know. And we are saying, why don't you, if you have, say, 1 month, why don't you use 1 week to do this in Ghana, get to know other parts of Ghana, and then you can do your international travel as well. So basically, it's to bring back this culture of getting to know Ghana and other parts of Ghana.
If you've missed those home-cooked meals prepared by your mother or grandmother, this is the time to relive those moments at the Back to Your Village Food Bazaar on the 25th to 26th of March. Your favorite akple and fetrudechi, apapensa, abom, fufu, lamojin, sobolo, and all you could think of will be on display at the forecourt of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly Office. Get ready for an exciting month of knowing Ghana, its culture and tradition, its people, music, and places, all happening here on Citi TV and Citi FM.
And that report was filed by Citi News' Anne Sheliziu.
Still on the Heritage Month, some patrons of this year's Citi TV's Heritage Caravan say they are anticipating a very exciting and educational trip to the 14 regions of Ghana. The caravan will set off from Accra on Saturday, March 4 from Tesano and head to the Volta region after a kinky party in Accra. There's more in the following report.
Some new patrons of Citi TV's Heritage Caravan say they have already packed their items, waiting to move on a 7-day road trip across 14 regions of Ghana. The excited patrons say they are looking forward to the food, the educational stories from tourist sites, and experience from the hotels.
I'm really prepared. Everything I would need. I've seen my checklist. Every morning I wake up and look at my checklist and say, look, this is 7 days something journey that we are going. You'll be on the bus mostly. How prepared am I? I'm taking my processes very, very serious because it's 7 days we are going to have in 14 regions. Look, I'm well prepared. The food. Hey, this time around here, it will be the local food for me. All the local food. Forget about the continental level. No. Now this has to be the local one. You know, I always say when you do contemporary, the palava sauce, no, without Kobe, no, Charlie, that thing is incomplete. If only my stomach can sustain and carry me along.
I'll be joining the Heritage Caravan this year. I'm looking forward to have a lot of fun, amazing food, meet a lot of people, socialize, and then visit some nice destination sites. I believe to see every morning on my YouTube. So once I heard about it, I called a friend and I just said, okay, I'd love to participate. And the following day, I just went to get a ticket. That's all. I'm fully prepared. I charged my item like last week. I just can't wait for that day to come. I don't know where my heart is concerned. To see that I've been there, but I'm looking forward to that is where my heart is looking forward to.
I'm anticipating, an amazing experience. I've traveled to some parts of Ghana, but then I haven't been to the northern region. I haven't been to the Bono region as well. And those are places that I'd like to visit and then experience on this trip. So I'm really looking forward to participating. In addition, I'd also like to meet new people, network, and that's something I like doing. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Colgate Toothpaste, one of the sponsors of Heritage Caravan, has promised to register their presence with their brands and also offer patrons some goodies.
It's been a great platform associating with Citi on the Heritage Caravan. The last time it gave us opportunity to educate people on the need to brush twice in a day and then also to change their toothbrush every 3 months. This time we're also on board taking the opportunity to let people know of our natural extract products, i.e. the natural extract charcoal, natural extracts lemon, natural extracts green tea and aloe.
The Heritage Caravan 2023 is powered by Citi TV in partnership with the Ghana Tourism Authority with support from Citi FM and proudly sponsored by Holad Ghana, the European Union, Malta Guinness, Ebony Condoms, Gold Company Limited, National Lotteries Authority, Voltic Minerals Water and Colgate Natural Extract.
The report was filed by Citi News' Fred Duho, and that's how we draw the curtains on today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. For more news, please log on to our website, citinewsroom.com. I am Wilma Obuobisa Coleman, and this afternoon I was here with
Charles Owusu Kumi.
Many thanks for doing the listening. Up next is the afternoon's edition of the Citi Business News. Do have a good afternoon.
Citi 97.3. More variety.